Hello herb lovers, it's Toni here from Life, Love and Lettuce, and today I want to talk to you about getting in there, pruning these herbs, making sure that some aren't taking over, like the mint for example, and making sure that you know how you can store these herbs for later use if you find that one herb is running rampant over the rest. Okay, so as we can see, the mint here is doing what mint does, which is pretty much taking over. And what happens in a small pot like this, when you've got one herb that's taking over, is it's going to steal the light from the other herbs. And a good example of where this is happening here at the moment is not really the mint, because there's plenty of sun getting through these leaves. But this lettuce leaf basil may not have been a smart choice of mine to put inside of this pot. And what's happening is between the lettuce leaf basil and the chives in the back here and the rosemary, which is doing really well, the poor silver thyme is possibly not getting as much sun as it needs to get. So it's struggling a little. It also may be struggling because thyme just sometimes struggles, but I'm hoping it's because it's losing a lot of the light at the moment. So what I want to do is show you the best way to be pruning some of these herbs to make sure that you are getting the best out of them. Now, having something to prune with is always a good idea. These are a nice little set of pruners that are pretty much the herb pruners that we use for most of the herbs around the garden if I'm not pulling them off with my fingernail. I suggest that you do prune with something that's got a nice sharp blade, just makes a nice clean cut, and it means that there's less chance of leaving a jagged edge for some kind of disease to get into to damage your plant. So basil's pretty easy. Really, all you're going to want to do is nip it off, and there you've got a lovely little piece of basil, which is good. This one has an ant on it. The rule of thumb for herbs is not to take more than 1/3 of the herb when you are harvesting or pruning. So in this situation, you can see that I have family members who've been out here and they have been harvesting these herbs. So this herb here has been taken just above a node, and that means that new growth will come out the side of the node on this plant. So if I want to take some more of this plant away to give some space to the other herbs to grow and to let some light in, I'm just going to pop it off here like this. And I don't want you to worry about, you know, oh gosh, look how much she's taken, and I'm actually going to take this other one away as well, because what is happening here is the basil is starting to grow again from underneath the cut, and these lovely little pieces of growth down here will come away again, and then we'll be able to take those too. So I could actually, even if I wanted to, go lower and take this one down here, and there's more growth coming away. We've got our basil here. There's plenty here for a meal. Or if I wanted to, I could actually put a little band on here, tie it together, hang it upside down, and I could dry that herb. And herbs dry pretty easily in airy spaces. If they're hung upside down, just keep them out of sunlight, or you could just pop these inside of a paper bag and they dry quite nicely. Now, mint, honestly, you can just be really rough with it. One of the easiest ways to deal with this right now is just to hold it together in a big bunch like this and just chop. And mint is amazing, and it will just come back and keep growing. And I'm going to chop these sides, but that's another quick way. You can see I've not taken too much, and I can tell you that this mint will just bush away from the edges again, and there will be no issues at all with it. So we can take these on the side here, take one down the front, lean over here, take another big bunch. And this mint will be wonderful to dry for teas or to grind up later and use in all kinds of dishes in winter. So now that I've cleared the mint, you'll be able to see that I've been pruning the rosemary, because you can see where it's been cut here and then 3 new stems have come away. And what we can continue to do now is, if we want this rosemary to bush, is we can take these little pieces here, and each of these will now bush away again. So that's how you're going to get your herbs to bush in your pot. With your chives, you can be rough with them, like I was rough with the mint, and you can just trim them from the side here, and then you've got a lovely bunch of chives to use in your cooking. Same method as well if you want to for these rosette herbs. Because they grow in a rosette, it means if you pull them together in a little ponytail like this and you cut them all at once, you're only going to get the oldest outside leaves, and the center leaves will be left alone. Now, these are not the right kind of clippers to pull together a big bunch like that, because I'm going to damage too much of the herb here. So the other gentle way to do it is just to clip the outside pieces, and here you've got some lovely outside pieces of, what's the herb? And here you've got some lovely outside pieces of Italian parsley that you can use in your meals tonight. The tarragon is coming away slowly on the side here. It's supposed to be a bushy perennial. Seems to take ages, and it's the same thing as with any of these perennials. You'll just clip the ends and then it will continue to bush for you, and what you clip off while you're pruning and shaping your herb you can use in your kitchen. And your oregano tends to grow a little bit like the mint, pretty much all over the place, except this little girl over the back here has not had as much sun as the herbs in the front. So another good thing with your planter is you can turn it to make sure that your herbs are getting some even sun. So the oregano is not grown as well as the other herbs, so we've turned her now so she's getting a bit more sun and she's starting to catch up with the rest of the team. So there you have it, how to trim, shape and manage your herbs, and also have a wonderful supply of herbs for your kitchen. I'll see you next time. Love and lettuce. Bye for now.